and welcome to the Gamers Table. It is Monday, and we're reviewing the game of Coda.
The Code Breaker.
Coda is a good, quick, simple game. The object of the game, as I'm going to read off of this paper, right here, is expose the secret codes of the other players before yours is fully revealed. That's all it is.
Why are you doing the count?
I like that. That was a fun episode. You've got your tiles laid out in front of you in numerical order, lowest to highest, and your opponent does the same, lowest to highest. And so, there's no cheating involved here. You got all your tiles that aren't being used yet in the center of the table between you, and you take turns drawing and then guessing based on what you've got in front of you and what you just drew, what the other person might have in front of them in their code. That's pretty much all it is. You've got your numbered tiles. There are black and white. There are optional ones in here. There is a little, what do you call it, a hyphen? Right? The hyphen, the dash. And that can be put in as a little, to make things harder. But the standard gameplay doesn't include that. But you've got black and white tiles. Yes. And all of them have numbers on them, and black and white will each have the same numbers. There's a white 2 and a black 2, and you'll have them placed down facing towards you. There'll be a certain number in front of you and your opponent.
Each of your opponents.
Each of your opponents to start off, and there'll be the remaining tiles set in the middle of the game, middle of the table,
face down so you can't see what the numbers are.
And I'm trying to remember at this moment which one goes where, but I think the white is if you have two of the same number. These are the opposite, not the same, but so you have the black and the white too. They will go down beside each other, but I believe the white has to go to the left and the black has to go to the right.
Always. And
then you go in ascending order. The lowest, starting with 0 up to, I believe it's 11 or something. And you start taking turns guessing. If you guess correctly, they knock their tile down. Hey, yep, that was it. You're right. You go again. And it... shoot, spoiled this fun.
It's a simple, quick, abstract, code-breaking game. Trying to decipher the other person's codes. You pick up more information every single round, so the game will get easier and easier.
I was wrong, though. The black goes to the left and the white goes to the right, if you got the same number.
They call it a code-breaking game, but it is and it isn't. I mean, you're just guessing his numbers over there. I mean, you could call that code breaking. I guess it really was, but you're not talking any 24-bit, 128-bit SSL encryption that Mr. Gupta's going to get to break so he can get into the GPS system. So you start gameplay by drawing a tile.
Yes.
And putting it into your code. And then you attack the other players and try and guess their numbers, saying like, that is a black 3. If you're correct, he knocks it down. Yeah. If you're not, you have to knock down the tile you just drew, and now he's got a number in your sequence. So if you knock down a 5, and you have another white one right there, well, this has got to be a 6 or higher, because the 5 is there. It can't be lower.
That's why you place it in order.
It's giving the guy more information. And as you start knocking tiles down, the guy's getting more and more information. And usually it's sort of a bit of a domino effect. He'll knock, by the first turn, he'll knock down some. Okay, well, that's got to be an 8, and that's got to be 10, that's got to be 11, because I know what I've got here. I know what's left, and loser.
Yeah, it would get tougher with more players because those numbers could be in either person's array there. But with 2, it gets a little simpler. Although there are a lot of tiles in the middle of the board or middle of the table, but eventually they'll get
like this many.
Mixed in and taken out and everything like that. So it does eventually get simpler. Like there is like it tells you, you can seal all your tiles here. You're going to outguess. Well, you might get a lucky guess in here, but good deduction really makes a big difference.
Wrapping up for Coda.
It's a pretty simple game.
I give Coda a 6.5. It's an abstract because it's just black and white and numbers. I mean, they've made it you're trying to break the other guy's code, but it's along the lines of Mastermind. Different, but the same sort of thing. Head to head, you're trying to break the code that the other guy set up. Only in this one, you both have a code that the other person's trying to break. There's not a lot of theme to it, but it's a family-ish, quick game. Probably 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, it really doesn't take that long to play.
Easy to play.
Let's just sit there humming and hawing all the time.
Easy to play. Well, pick a number, guess a number, knock down his or knock down yours. Fun to play. If you're in the mood for some code breaking, maybe. If you're not in the mood for some code breaking, you got any sevens? It's kind of like a involved game of Go Fish.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5. Yeah, I played this a number of times. I enjoyed it. It's a good filler game here. It's not too difficult. Like you get 2 players going. I played with a number of different people, and it's just basically comes down to the process of elimination here. Okay, you know what you've got in front of you. You know what they're asking for, because if you got a decent enough memory, I don't know, that's where it comes into. It's like you remember what they're asking for. They're not going to have it, so it could either be in here, or you end up having it. So it gets down to a process of elimination and deduction that way. So
I give Coda a 6.5. I enjoy it. It's a game you gotta think, kind of try to deduce. I mean, you're gaining more information every single turn.
Yeah.
So you just gotta that number is greater than a 2 but less than a 4. It might be a 2 or a 4 depending on what color it is.
Yeah, or a 3, but that narrows it down to 4 tiles instead of 15.
Yes. So yeah, there's definite logic happening here, and it's a good little abstract.
not that bad. Nice quick game, short, or fairly short. It depends on if you get players just humming and hawing and thinking a little too hard, But I enjoy this one quite a bit.
That's it for this episode of the Gamers Table. Tune in next week where we review another game.
Because that's what we do. And Chris fools around. Anyway, whatever. Blah, blah.
Whatever. Blah,
We're going to
blah.
edit that.
We're going to edit
Blah,
that.
blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
I edit out all the parts where we look like I edit out all the parts where we get game things wrong. I don't edit out all the parts where they look like idiots because I wouldn't have a show.
Hey now.
You're an all-star.
Sorry, Master!
Oh, good God. End it already, please. Kiss the kid. That's a good one, Igor. Just random guessing is not going to win you the game here.
With this green sheet of paper on here, it looks like there's a hole right there through the table.
Oh, okay.
Like you can see right through Ken. You can see his heart beating.
It's one small step for man,